I want to start with something you need to know about why I show up here every single day. I don't make content, I give value to people who need to grow, and I build a system that makes money. Every day I produce something. That is my anchor. Not views, not followers, just daily value for the one soul ready to receive it. Today, that value is this: the person who keeps interrupting you is not rude. They are scared, and I want to show you exactly what they are scared of. Because when you understand it, really understand it, you will never take an interruption personally again. Let me start simple. When you speak, something happens in the room. Your words land with weight. Not because you are loud, not because you are aggressive, but because what you say is coherent. It connects, it goes somewhere, and the person listening can feel it going somewhere before it arrives. And for some people, that feeling is too much. Not because your words are wrong, because your words are too right. Here is what I mean. Most people spend their whole lives keeping a very careful distance from certain truths. Truths about themselves, truths about their choices, truths about the life they are living versus the life they know they could be living. They manage that distance carefully. They fill silence with noise. They redirect conversations before they go too deep. They change the subject at exactly the moment things start to get real. And then you start talking. And your sentence starts going somewhere they didn't agree to go. So they interrupt, not because they decided to be rude, not because they planned it, but because their nervous system fired an alarm before their conscious mind could stop it. The alarm said, "This is getting too true. Stop it before it finishes arriving." And they listened to the alarm. That is not about you, soul. That is about a nervous system protecting itself from a sentence it was not yet regulated enough to sit inside and let complete. Think about the people in your life who interrupt you most consistently. Now think about what you were usually talking about when they cut you off. I would guess it was not small talk. I would guess you were getting close to something real, something that mattered, something that was going somewhere the room didn't agree to visit. Your coherence is the disruption, not your personality, not your tone, not anything you chose to do, just the quality of what you carry when you speak. Now, here is the part most people get wrong about this. Most people respond to being interrupted by getting louder, by fighting for the floor, by asserting their right to finish the sentence. And sometimes that works. but it costs something every time it happens. It pulls you into the activation of the person who interrupted you. It makes their dysregulation your dysregulation. The sovereign response is different. Go quieter. Not quieter because you gave up. Quieter because you understand what just happened. Quieter because you know that the silence after an interruption, the calm, unhurried, completely undefensive silence of someone who does not need to fight for permission to be heard, is the most powerful sentence in any room. That silence says something words cannot say. It says, I know what I was about to say. I know where it was going, and I am not rattled by your alarm. I will be here when you are ready. That is the unmoved anchor in operation. That is the sovereign response to a nervous system that just fired in the presence of your coherence. I want to be honest with you about where I am right now as I say all of this. 211 subscribers on YouTube, 86,000 total views, 195 followers on TikTok, 160,000 views on TikTok, Rumble building from zero, 30 people who found a free reset, 2 people who walked the complete path. I am building this from 25 euro toward 250k euro by September 2027. Every single day I produce something into this system, not because the numbers are large enough to justify it, because the system requires daily production to build, and daily production from a calm, coherent, regulated place, from a nervous system that is not fighting for the floor or seeking approval from an algorithm, is the only version of this that actually compounds into something real. The gap between 160,000 views and 30 people who moved is the interruption gap. Most people watching feel the coherence of what this content is going toward, and their nervous system fires the alarm before the sentence finishes arriving. Close the tab, redirect, change the subject, get back to the familiar noise before something too true completes itself. 30 people let the sentence finish. 2 people sat inside the whole thing. Now I want to tell you what builds the nervous system that can sit inside a true sentence without firing the alarm. It is not willpower. It is not deciding to be a better listener. It is not a communication technique or a social skill or a personality trait you either have or don't. It is regulation. Biological regulation. The slow, patient, daily construction of a nervous system that has enough internal capacity to let truth arrive without treating it as a threat. When your system is regulated, you can sit inside someone else's coherence without needing to interrupt it. You can let the sentence go where it is going without firing the alarm. You can receive what is being said from a place of genuine stillness rather than defensive redirection. And here is the other side of that. When your system is regulated, your sentences become more interruptible to dysregulated systems. Not because you are doing anything wrong, because your coherence becomes more threatening to systems that are not yet regulated enough to receive it. This is not a problem to solve. It is just the honest architecture of how regulated and dysregulated systems interact. Your job is not to make yourself less coherent so their alarm doesn't fire. Your job is to stay calm when it does, to go quieter, to let the silence after the interruption carry what the sentence was going to say anyway. The mirror practice was built for exactly this, not to teach you how to handle difficult conversations, to build a nervous system that makes genuine coherence your natural output and the genuine stillness your natural response when that coherence is interrupted. 30 people are building that nervous system. 2 people has completed it. The reset is free, 1 minute in the bio. The full practice is 19 euro. It is the complete system for the soul whose words carry weight and who is tired of watching rooms interrupt the weight before it fully lands. Next time someone cuts you off, soul, go quiet. Let the silence sit. Let it do what the sentence was going to do. The room will feel the unfinished sentence more than it would have felt the completed one. That is the sovereign truth about interruption. And now it is yours. Drop quiet in the comments if someone has interrupted you mid-sentence today and you felt exactly what I just described. I am Tudor. My anchor is recalibrated. Every day produces. I'll see you in the silence after the interruption.